Welcome back. So we're going to continue from where we left off. I'm not even sure which part of the video is this. This is probably part 5 or 6, one of them. But on this next video, we are going to make the reducer. So the reducer is a function that takes two variables, state and action. And basically the action is intended to change the state to the new state. And if there's no new state, it's going to return the old state. That's basically what a reducer is. And you change those by calling dispatch. All right, so I'm going to create a component here called reducer. Let us do that. I'm going to create a file called reducers.ts. TS. We're not returning no GSX. So we're going to call this export const. Let's call it data reducer. Let's call this data reducer as well. I feel like maybe the word reducer might have been, it's probably used. Data reducer, much better. Data reducer. So it takes two variables, state and action. And then now for the and we would destruct the action. So action is type and payload. So the type of action and the results. And then we will go through the type by using a switch statement. So if the type, so the default would be, we would return the state the way it is. And then we will go through the case, whatever the value, the type is. In this case, our goal is to get COVID data. So if you look at our interface that we made, the goal is COVID data. So we need something to actually get us the data. So we can call this case get COVID data. Don't worry, we're gonna do this better. Just accept it for now. And we're gonna return these spread the state, and then the payload. If you go back to the data store, we call the initial data COVID data. I'm gonna take that, set equal to the payload. There we go. All right, fantastic. So now we need to know what we need to tell. We need to tell TyPESCRIPT what type is the state. So we can actually import that in from the interfaces that we made. So do we have a state type? Let us see. We do have a state. So we have a state. So this is a state. We're also going to return a state. There we go. We're returning a state eventually. This is a new state right here. This is also a new state. But now, what about the action? So we know that the action has a type and a payload, obviously. So we need some form of information about the action. So let's create an interface for that. Export interface. Let's call this action props. Not like that. So all this auto stuff, I don't like it. Action props. There we go. And then in the action props, it has a type, and then it has a payload. The payload we know is this COVID data here. So we can call that COVID. It's an array of the COVID data. There we go. But we need to figure the types out. Just like how we have the type here, we need to make that more. We need to make it better. That's in other words, that's what I'm trying to say. So let's create a type. Let's call this types.TyPESCRIPT. And then what we can do in this type is we call this export enum action types. Let's call this action types. And then we already know that the type is get COVID data. We set it like this. So now we can import that here from types, import the action types, and then this type is action types dot get COVID data. Beautiful. Now we need to do the same thing though for our reducer. We need to import it. Let's get it here. So we need to import it, and then our action type over here is action types dot get COVID data. All right, so this is good, but we still need to figure out the action. It says any. That's not what we want. We don't want anything with any. So we need to create like an action payload that has a type. I'm sure we created that. Action props right here. So we need to import this action props over here, and then set it. There we go. So now we have type for state, we have a type for action, and then we're good to go for data reducers, and we can continue to add more and more and more like this. So now we need to bring our reducer in here. Components, data reducers. What is it saying? Oh, there's no export. Yes, it does. Okay, what is the error saying now? It's saying export. Oh, data reducer. Sorry. There we go. Beautiful. You notice the red line went away from the state because the state has understood its role now. All right, so this is good. We created our reducer. There's no errors. Everything is going very, very good. Let's see. Does our app work? Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't. What's? Maybe there's still an error somewhere. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. That's fine. We'll fix that. So let us go to our file over here. All right, we have the store, we have the app. Okay, so we would expose this component to our store to use the data. And let's see, we have the COVID data here. So we're gonna use dispatch, but we haven't figured a way to use it yet. So what I want to do is this. I want to, in the next video, I'm going to create our first action here. Let me just put a comment here. Action. We're gonna call it get COVID data. Get COVID data, and we're gonna require Axios. So what I'll do is in this process, I'm just gonna download Axios. So I'm gonna kill the server. Yarn add Axios. All right. Join me in the next video.